So a pretty significant admission from the White House. They were caught off guard by this escalation from Israel when it comes to Syria.
Yeah, the context here is important. There has been a significant amount of sectarian violence taking place in the Joumanna region in Syria, that is a southern province, since mid-July, since around July 11. Two communities fighting against one another, Sunni Bedouins on one side against the Druze on another. Druze is a group whose faith is an offshoot from Shia Islam. But the point is, there has been a significant amount of violence, and independent monitors suggest that atrocities and human rights abuses have taken place. So where does Israel come into the mix? Now, Israel has always seen itself as a bit of a protector for the Druze community around the region, namely because if you go back to 1948, the Druze community did actually side themselves with the Israeli state that was being established. And so there is a lot of historical, I would say, ties between those two groups. And so more recently, Israel intervened once in April on behalf of the Druze community, and then once again recently by targeting some of those military facilities in Joumanna, but then also in Damascus last week as well. Now, the U.S. are saying that they were not aware that Israel were going to strike that headquarters in that pretty dramatic image that we're showing right now on screen. But Israel do say that they did give advance notice to the United States because the United States have been actively involved in the developments in Syria. As we know, President Trump actually met with the interim president Ahmed al-Sharaa back in May of this year, has removed the Syrian sanctions and has floated the real possibility of normalization talks between Israel and Syria, which kind of seems paradoxical at this time, given that the two sides seem to be targeting or attacking one another. That being said, U.S. did manage to broker a ceasefire that still seems to be upholding as of now from Friday of last week. The question is whether the sectarian violence within Syria can calm down, and whether, the other big question, you may see the real possibility of another civil war emerging, which is not a possibility that Arab states or the United States would like to see.
Yeah, indeed. OK, so we continue to watch the events on the ground in Syria and Israel's involvement there. Also, late yesterday, Joumanna, of course, a statement from 28 countries, including Britain, Japan, and several European nations, not Germany, interestingly, several European nations, saying the war in Gaza, quote, must end now. What is the significance of this statement? Can it move the dial at all in terms of what is taking place in Gaza?
Yeah, that's right. So a group of 28 countries got together, put out this statement, not including Germany, as you say, not including the United States, but includes Canada, France, other European nations, and in pretty strong terms said that the suffering of civilians in Gaza has reached new depths. We condemn the drip feeding of aid and the inhumane killing of civilians. It is horrifying that over 800 Palestinians have been killed while seeking aid. And of course, this is in reference to the number of Palestinians who have been killed in line waiting to get humanitarian aid assistance. The way that the humanitarian aid has been administered is under an increasing amount of scrutiny, and it is clear that the pressure is piling on Israel, both in terms of the way the humanitarian aid is administered, but then also with the ongoing war, with the UK Foreign Minister David Lammy saying that there is no military solution to this war. The next ceasefire absolutely has to be the last ceasefire. Now, as we say this, the ongoing discussions between Hamas and Israel, which have been talked about for a couple of weeks now, don't appear to be close to any breakthrough. We've been perhaps reporting on a potential for a 60-day truce, but there still seems to be quite a lot of daylight between the two sides, because Hamas are insisting that this ceasefire will lead to a final end to the war. Israel are insisting on, of course, the release of the remaining hostages, but that they will not stop until there is a full demilitarization of Hamas. So again, conversations ongoing, but it is pretty remarkable that this joint statement came out. Whether it's going to have any political impact is up for debate.